question is how to create components in React. So if you see in React, there are two possible ways of creating a component. The first approach is a functional component. So the functional component is the easiest way to create a component. Those are pure JavaScript function that accept props object as first parameter and return a React elements. Then the second one is a class-based component. So in class-based component, we can also use a ES6, which is a ECMAScript 6 class to define a component. So those are the two types of create component in React.js. So in class-based components, if we need a state or lifecycle method, then we need to go for a class-based component. And the class syntax is one of the most common way to define a React component. So now let's get into the creation in with an example. So I'm just opening my Visual Studio Code editor. So here I have an application which is already created one called dashboard. It's a React application. So in this application I have created some of the component called component. So in that component I have listed a component called settings.js. So first in settings.js I'm going to show the output in a class based component. So this is how a class based component will look like. So we will be importing React and a component from React. So the syntax will be like class name, extends component, and the class based component will have a default method called render. So inside the render method, we will be displaying our web page, which is a JSX content. So this is a class based component and this will be the output for the page. So if I go and change the page something called React. So I'm just saying Control S, and if I see that the page will be getting refreshed. So this is a class based component, and now I'm going to change this entire class based component into a functional based component. So let me just go and comment the code. So instead of that, I'm going to write a JavaScript function, the same name called settings. So here I'm going to return the JSX. So I'm just copy pasting the content code here. So if I'm changing the content here, settings page in normal JS. See, the page content is being changed. So in React we can create a two kind of component. One is functional component and another one is a class based component. So in case if we need a React lifecycle method or any React state, we need to use a class based component. So this is a class based component and the output is being changed. So the